Hi there, I'm Dave Taylor, and I'm at Seminole Springs Cemetery in Lake County, Florida. Now, most of the time when I come to a cemetery, I'm looking for people who are connected to the Lincoln assassination story. Well, today I'm actually here only because of the land on which the cemetery rests. This cemetery rests on land that was once owned by the parents of conspirator Lewis Powell. In 1872, 7 years after the death of their son for his involvement in the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, Reverend George Powell and his wife Patience bought 5,426 acres here in Lake County, Florida, and he set up a lumber mill. I'm going to show you a map real quick just to give you perspective on that. The blue dot is where I am, just the outer skirts of the land that they owned. That is where the Seminole Springs Cemetery is, but then all the yellow here marks the rest of their property line, which included on the eastern half a lot of swamp, but where I was, there was a lot of hardwood trees. And so Reverend Powell started a business, joined by his son, his only surviving son, George Washington Powell, and a couple of his son-in-laws in running a mill here on this area. Unfortunately, business didn't go very well. They held on to it for quite some time, buying it in 1872. But by 1881, Reverend Powell was in deep debt and mortgaged the property as a result of it because he couldn't really get the mill to bring in profit. And unfortunately, in October of 1881, he had to sell this giant piece of property for $1 because he had mortgaged it to a man named Henry Sanford, who established a town just a few miles away called Sanford, Florida. Reverend Powell, Lewis Powell's dad, would die just a month later. But this whole property, and going back 4 miles behind me and 2 miles back and forth in this direction, all once belonged to Lewis Powell's family.